Hello everyone. We'll start with the last session of the day, the Collab Sphere, Collaborate and Grow. This session is all about collaborative approach, sharing and growing together. In today's dynamic professional environment, growth is no longer driven by expertise in silos. It thrives in collaborative ecosystems. When professionals from diverse domains come together, they don't just share knowledge, they spark innovation, bridge skill gaps and unlock new opportunities. In this sphere of collaboration, we don't just grow, we learn, adapt and evolve. Each partnership becomes a learning curve, helping us stay relevant, broaden our horizons and deliver enhanced value to clients. The future belongs to those who are open to working together, not just smarter. In this session, we will explore how members in practice can create exponential growth with a collaborative approach, learning from each other's experiences, taking us from competition to co-creation. May I now invite our session navigator CA Gautam Mota, session mentor CCM CA Preeti Savla and CA Jinesh Savla to come on dais and join us.
Good evening friends. It's my privilege to introduce currently serving Central Council member of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, CA Preeti Savla, with over 24 years of rich experience in audit, strategic planning, business advisory, risk mitigation, ECG and sustainability. She brings a unique blend of expertise and vision. She is currently a partner at KPB and Associate and serves as an independent director in renowned companies such as Sun Pharma Laboratories, NSA Clearing, ISB Infrastructure and ITI Mutual Fund Trustees. She is also a governing council member of Social Stock Exchange of BSE. She has been a key contributor to policy and regulatory frameworks, serving on SEBI's Committee on Takeover Regulations and has played a pivotal role as a chairperson of ICAI Sustainability Reporting Standard Boards, helping shape India's ECG narrative on global platforms including IFRS and ISSB. She has also been a member Sustainability Standards Accounting Forum of International Sustainability Standards Board, IFRS Foundation, and she was only the member representing India. Respected for her integrity, inclusiveness and vision, she continues to be our mentor, trailblazer and a role model. May I now request CA Paresh Vora and CA Zeel Vora to kindly come forward and felicitate Preeti ma'am with a token of appreciation. Let us welcome CA Preeti Savla with a big round of applause. Let me now introduce our session navigator CA Gautam Mota. It gives me an immense pleasure to introduce CA Gautam Mota, a chartered accountant, a law graduate and a registered valuer for securities and financial assets. Gautam sir brings a rare blend of technical depth, practical insight and visionary leadership to the table. He is currently a partner at CGCA and Associates LLP, formerly known as UKG and Associates LLP, and began his professional journey with PwC in the area of corporate taxation. His deep involvement in the profession is evident through the multiple leadership role he continues to hold. He is currently the Secretary of C.V.O, Chartered and Cost Accountants Association, and has been nominated as a member of Valuations Committee of WIRC of ICAI for the year 24-25. Earlier, he was co-opted as the member of Women's and Young Member of Excellence Committee of ICAI for the year 23-24, and has led as convener of Corporate and Allied Laws Committee of the Chamber of Tax Consultants for 3 consecutive years. Gautam sir has been a regular contributor to the WIRC reference manual, a go-to guide for regulatory updates across the profession. A passionate academician, he has been a visiting faculty at GNVS Institute of Management, and outside his professional sphere, his compassionate side shines through his work as a part of managing committee of Bhagwan Mahavir Pasu Raksha Kendra, one of the India's largest center for animal and bird welfare. May I now request CA Dharmesh Dedia sir and CA Harsh Soni sir to kindly come forward and felicitate Gautam sir with the token of appreciation. Please join in welcoming Gautam sir with the premium round of applause.
Hello. Thank you, Jinesh, for the wonderful introduction. I think, friends, the last 1 hour session, the way we have structured this is there would be a small presentation which would be shared by Priti Savla madam. Subsequent to that, we will have groups, the entire participants divided into separate groups. Questions would be given to each group where each group will have to dwell upon a particular issue. 5 minutes would be given to that group to try and come up with some solution. And one or couple of members from that group will come over here and share their ideas or insights or possible solutions to that questions which could come up when we are trying to collaborate, navigate through different journeys of mergers and acquisitions. So this is how this session has been planned. So over to Priti madam for the presentation.
Good evening. Good evening. All ready for collapse here? All ready for collapse here?
Yes.
So at the outset, let me actually compliment and congratulate Vinit and Nihar who have structured, you have thought of having such program at CVOCA. I think first time ever this kind of program, maybe in last 20 years I am associated. So I have seen this kind of program and support of all the speakers, and I am happy that Nandita Ben, Ashutosh Bhai are still here. So thank you for that also. And so this is the idea basically is like we also think from our Prime Minister's vision to have 100 Indian firms, and the economy is growing at such a faster pace, and the growth is like we are also as a part of a partner in nation building. Similar growth also should come. If we see in yesterday only, I was hearing Finance Minister, she was here in Mumbai, BSC's 150 years celebration was there. So she was saying that before this COVID, only some 23 companies were having market cap of more than 1 lakh crore. And now there are 81 companies at present having a market cap of more than 1 lakh crore. See the pace in which the growth in India is happening, and India is at present the 4th largest economy of the world, and over a period of say Azadi Ka, this is like last 25 years Azadi Ka Amrut Kal, and in this 20 years going forward, it is estimated that India will become the 3rd largest economy. And when the growth is happening at such a faster pace, the professionals are always having the best outcome of it, and it is always the professionals, we are always said as advisors who has the best out of it, and this is on the basis of the advising the growth in the economy and the country is also happening. And looking forward to that, this kind of programs are also very, very important, and the collaborations to happen is also very, very important. So this being the collapse sphere is a session where we are trying to push our firms so that they also challenges, the questions will be given to you to think through that. Each question is a different question, and we will have 2 tables merged and 2 questions to each one to think through that and analyze that. And so this is a very less time, I understand, but at least this exercise will start, and think through that. We can bring this, maybe we can say part 1, and going forward we can become part 2, we can have part 2 where we can see some mergers happening within ourselves, and this is a thought process which is being given in this session. So coming to the this is one of the best name this Nihar has given, and the entire team of this practice development group has given the growth summit, the collapse sphere. Next slide. What we'll be covering in next, I'll take very little through. We'll understand what is the statistics of our membership and the firms at present, and what are the challenges and what we should have as a thought process, and what are the interesting facts, and then everyone has to tell their strategy for the questions being given to them. So now, with the changing in the roles and the technology coming in, friends, lot of things are being taken care by the technology. And we have, it is always said that professionals are never been replaced by the technology. They have to drive the technology, because humans cannot, technology cannot replace the humans, but they have to drive the technology to take best out of it. And however, with the say technology and the strategies coming in, what the role of the practitioners, the professionals has been changing from say compliance to consulting. Everyone agrees to this? Yes or no? Right? The role of professional is changing from compliance to consulting, from assurance to advisory. Nowadays, no one is wanting to go in audit and assurance practice. It is very difficult, but that is also one of the best area, because when there is no one, that is always a very lucrative area. But however, the practice is shifting from assurance to advisory. Availability to accessibility. Earlier it was you are available and then the clients meet, but now you are accessible across the globe. From wherever you are, you can provide the service. So from availability to accessibility, from face to face to faceless, and from offline to online, from IQ to EQ, and from hard worker, harder to smart working. And this is, we have to keep in mind the role, the entire things have been, the scenario has been changing, and we have to imbibe this in our profession also to get the best out of it. Similarly, if I see this, if I show the statistics of the institute, there are how many members are there at present from 2003 to 2020, right? This is like almost the 2 decades have been taken. And if we see the percentage of the members who are coming to the practice, see what is the scope of practice and what is the potential in the practice. See, in 2003 there were total members were about 1,10,000, and out of which 68%, more than 2/3 were having COP and were practicing. However, over a period of time, majority of the members are going in industry or Big Four and not having the COP. And if we see over a period, and in 2022, about 2 years back, we have seen that there were about 3,51,000 members, out of which 42% are having COP, and at present about from 4,12,000 members, only some 38% of members are having COP, and this includes the earlier members. So only say 10 to 15% members are only coming into practice, the newer generations. So it is very less number of members are coming into the practice. At institute also we were thinking the way the regulators are influencing the profession, day by day it is very much becoming difficult for the assurance practice also to have one course for the members who is taking COP, 1 month course to take their tell them about the assurance and the code of ethics and everything. However, we have dropped, because if we bring such type of 1 to 3 months course, if they want to take COP, they will also not take, and that's why we have dropped that also, those ideas also. If we see the firms, the members ratio we have seen who are coming into practice, and if we see the type of firms, we have proprietorship firms as well as 2 partners, 3 partners, and any number of partners we can have. And if we see this ratio, see earlier members were also having individual practice. However, the Reserve Bank of India said if the member is having individual practice, the bank audit will not be allotted. And we have made everyone to the sole practitioners to convert this individual practice into sole proprietorship, and it has been done. Now only 3 to 5,000 members are only individual practitioners. However, others are already converted into proprietorship form. And if we see the scenario, 2025 recently, I am not going below, so, there are total 98,000 firms, 98,400 firms, out of which 71,400 are the proprietorship firms. See, individual proprietorship firms were having only individual in their name, like that. And about 27,000 are partnership firms, out of which two partner firms are majority, 13,000. 3 to 10 partners are 11,000. 11 to 20, 350 firms, and 21 to 50 partners, 44 firms, and more than 50 partners, there are 9 firms. So see what is the ratio, means majority are actually the sole proprietorship only. So if see what are now the companies are rising, if we see, so they will always require more and more bigger firms, and if we have that kind of scenario, then always our practice will be like in the sky. So what are the major challenges in practice over a period of time? And all of you will be aware, and this list I have just given some points. This list, if you can answer, if this question, this list also can increase. We are not able to find any articles or any staff. Yes or no? Yes. So all of you agree with these issues? Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes.
Right? I did not go through this. You may add to this, right?
Yes.
These are the challenges which small, maybe proprietorship firms or small firms, all of us are actually facing in day-to-day routine life. Now, what are the interesting facts and missing links? So, now if we see where the clients and the large companies are actually going as an advisor. So, once with the said all these issues, how to take it further so that the growth can happen, and these are some of the thoughts which I have jotted down, right? So, when we sit on the boards of the companies, you have always seen there is always a vision and the mission and the goal of any company or a corporate or any large firm. So one has to have the vision, and how many of you have the vision statement and the goal, or you are having say annual budget for say now it's April, so for say April 24, say this financial year 24 to 25, my gross receipt should be this much. If you have, please raise your hand. How many of you have the annual, see in C.V.O also we make annual, every president comes, we will have a meeting with all the committees and we'll make annual activity plan, right? So how many of you have the budget or the annual activity plan or the budget in next 24-25 or 25-26 now this year, my gross receipt should be X crore or whatever amount. Yes, anyone can raise? No. Right? No one. Then whether are you doing quarterly review? See, if you don't have any plan, if there is a function in our home, or if there is a program, conference, right? They will plan, yes, what is the break even, how many number of participants will be there, what will be the food, everything. So similarly, one has to plan what should be the annual budget, annual revenue, what will be my market audience, what will be the client size, the fee structure, we want like 100 clients of 1 lakh rupees, or say 25 clients of 5 lakh rupees, or say 10,000 rupees of say 1,000 clients. So then what is the market audience, what is the revenue structure, what should be the staff to cater that. So all that strategy, whether we are doing quarterly review, whether this is a like budget, and in first quarter whether what has actually we have planned, whether it has happened or not. Similar way, what research, now every year the finance minister presents the budget. This is, I am giving just an example, right? He has given the budget, and in that we are having that budget seminar, everyone is reviewing what are the intricacies, and because of that what kind of practice will actually emerge. And if we plan that way, right, you have to do research in that, who can become the client. I am giving you an example, and the thoughts, if anyone has given, not given, please do research who can be our client for next year. Similarly, we never have any budget for PR activity, right? We have to allocate some budget, some amount for PR activity also, right? We are always having कि हाँ अच्छा seminar किया है C.V.O ने महाडा अच्छी बनूं, but whether we are going in another summits where we can have some business people who can be our prospective clients also, whether we are writing article in newsletter, और अभी newsletter में article नहीं आता था, C.V.O ने newsletter ही बंद कर दिया है, right? ऐसा हो गया है. So whether we are giving any speech on any of the topic, what PR activity, whether we have any YouTube channel to share our knowledge to the and it can go to world over anywhere. So what are the new avenues, what are the new areas, and what PR activity, and what time we are allocating, what budget we are allocating for PR activity. Similarly, what is the required team? अभी phone भी आता है तो हमको ही उठाना है, right? Whether what is the layers we have, whether we are only partner level and directly talking to the articles, or we have a mid-level management also, and what is the structure, whether we have a separate HR, separate admin in our office, or everything is done by the articles. Billing कौन बनाता है, हमको करना पड़ता है, article करता है, और we have a separate admin team for the follow-up of the client fees, billing. So how that structure and is there and should be there, one has to think through it. अभी articles को leave चाहिए तो वो directly अपने पास आता है कि it goes to HR, and it is like whether we have a HR policy or not, right? If we have a HR policy, आजकल articles छोड़ जाते हैं और कुछ issue करते हैं, that if we have a proper HR policy, this will not arise. So the technology, if we have a one large phone, the technology also will be shared among all the entire team. So what kind of technology, हमारे पुराने machines हैं, 5 साल पुराने machine हैं, latest technology, the hardwares, the softwares, and what kind of technology we are using, so that our work is being processed at a faster pace, the clients, we are able to give the quality and the timely services. Then the infrastructure, what is the infrastructure, whether work from home, nowadays some part of work can be conducted at a client's place also, work from home also, whether we are able to do that, provide that facility, so that we can manage our resources very well, or if we have, whether we have a proper infrastructure in our office, or because of infrastructure we are not able to have the team or get the client also क्योंकि हमारे पास infrastructure नहीं है. So these are certain points. The succession planning, when the new partners are being inducted, what are the strategies are being discussed, how the structure is being followed. So these are certain points which one has to answer properly, and one should have a vision, the mission and the goal for, and the annual budget, so that we can actually progress in that direction what we want. And then the sessions what has been taken, organic growth, inorganic growth, right? What is our top line and bottom line? With the inorganic growth, right, merger, immediate, you did not see the bottom line to be filled in or get in, but over a period of time, because of the team strength which you can show to the outside world, your bottom line, top line both can actually improve, and this can be the better way, right? So these are certain points which I have thought let me put on the screen to give you the perspective thoughts, so that and we will now have that exercise for having this internal discussions among ourselves. We have some 10 to 12 questions prepared, and I think there are 6 tables. So 2 tables will be merged and 2 questions will be given to each group, and 10 tables है ना? आप दो ही हो तो खाली merge हो जाओ ना बाजू में यार इतनी सोलो. I request all of you to merge the table. जितना merge हो सकता है बेटा. हम भी दो ही. दरवाजे बंद. हाँ. What is the view of the participants? Continue. Questions are given.
Questions is given by Nihar on each table. Each table will have to dwell upon that issue and come up with some innovative ideas, solutions to that question as to how is it that they would resolve that question in a real case scenario. So questions are circulated by Nihar. In case anyone has not received the question, kindly raise your hand so that Nihar can come up and give that question. We'll have 5 minutes. And then we will start with table 1 where president is sitting.
इसका पहले हो जाता है, raise your hand, so we can start even before 5 minutes. See, these are the questions which has been like all these points which are already I have given this, and each question is a separate question. Participants are not understanding. There will be one group leader who will come along with the group and present.
The context that we are talking is merger of 2 firms, and in that context a particular topic is given to, say for example technology would be given to a particular table. Then in terms of technology there will be various issues how that 2 firms will try and resolve the technology issue. That is what each table has to come up with an idea as to how is it that they will resolve the technology issue.
Actually, एक फॉर्म का एक साथ में होना चाहिए. एक फॉर्म का एक साथ में The first question is views about the name of the अगर कोई बोल दे कि हमको नाम चेंज नहीं करना है, we are not ready to change the name, उसका मर्जर हो सकता है? हो सकता है. अगर जो सामने वाला बोले कि हाँ आपके नाम में मेरा अग्री करेगा तो हो सकता है, बट इट इज नॉट अ ओपन स्ट्रेटेजी, राइट? अगर दोनों जन रेडी है तो इट इज अ ओपन स्ट्रेटेजी. So the question is view about the name of a new entity. Is there a willingness to change, modify, create new name by combining earlier names? So the group is group 1, who Jasmine Bhai is going to answer.
So our group members collectively decided yes, we are open to change the name from me to we. It can be initials of the previous form names if we are going to merge. It can be a unique name if the institute permits us as per institute guidelines, but we are open. We are also open that one of the legacy firm, if that firm has a legacy, we can continue with that name. All the firms will merge in that forms.
Thank you very much. Next group which is ready? There are 2 questions. क्या ये लोग का ग्रुप थोड़ा बड़ा था ना, तो 2 क्वेश्चन.
So question was regarding structure, partnership, private limited or any other. Second was consulting practice. Is there a separate consulting practice? Is it housed within the firm or separate private limited company? And third question was are you open to part of network, international association or informal alliances? So, regarding structure, you would say that you would like to go for the private limited structure.
Private limited doesn't have assurance. You
Yeah,
cannot do assurance.
so we want to go with the consulting practice only.
So you are not doing any assurance practice.
No.
तो assurance किसको लेना है? इसका टेक ओवर करना है? इसका ऑडिट प्रैक्टिस?
5-6 करोड़ रुपए दे दो तो देते हैं.
6 to 8x.
6 to 8.
6 to 8x.
इले खाली ना असंख्य वकुणा એટલે so if we want to sell we will sell to anybody. It is not like that. Who is buying, that is also important.
So if you are going, see the best structure can be, the best structure nowadays if you are merging, you can have one partnership firm under which the audit and assurance practice goes on, and other than audit and assurance, there has to be a separate consulting which can be under private limited company where it can go on. Few partners of audit partners there should be there in your partnership firm for audit. And other than for consulting, others can be in that private limited company.
So COP holders will be in the partnership firm and non-COP holder will be in the private limited.
So COP holder can also be part of private limited company because as per institute rules and regulations, you can have a corporate form of practice which is allowed as per ICI guidelines. And with COP also, the name also will be approved by the institute and you can form the partnership private limited company.
They will not be able to undertake the attestation function.
And assurance and attestation functions cannot be done in that company.
Okay. Next question is regarding consulting practice. Is there a separate consulting practice? Is it how? So I think that is answered. Okay. And are you open to network, international association or informal alliances? Not thought.
So, the international network at present, there are about 100 odd firms having the international network. However, their disciplinary actions are going on all the firms. At present, it is not formally allowed by the ICAI. However, with the new networking guidelines coming in, this is also one of the point and topic to allow the international network firm, and this may open, we are not sure at present, but however, on all these 100 odd firms, the disciplinary actions are under process.
But if a firm is in a corporate structure and registered with ICI, then
So what is asking, if the firm is a corporate structure?
corporate structure and registered with ICI, then the code of ethics will apply to that corporate structure and they cannot
Yes.
get into any direct marketing.
See what happens, if it is generally the code of ethics are more stringent when it is for audit and assurance practice. If it is a consulting, right, you are not attestation, not doing any attestation. So then code will not be that stringent, no, for that. So then accordingly applicability is there.
Understood.
Even for non-COP holders also the code of ethics separate clauses and sections are there.
What is the benefit of corporate structure registering with ICI then?
So you can always show that this is like my corporate company to gain the confidence amongst the clients, among the corporates. उसको mic दो ना तो everyone can actually hear it out. आवाज नहीं आ रही है.
What he is saying is, if corporate structure has a limited liability, how institute can act upon a member?
See what happens, LLP structure is different. So your firm can be converted into LLP, and other than firm, LLP structure is better because LLP has the limited partners of the limited liability.
Is saying if it is a private limited then.
See in private limited and LLP again the structures are different because in private limited you cannot do any attestation function, audit, assurance, nothing. Whereas in LLP you will be able to do everything.
Can institute take action on member who is a part of a private limited company?
For what action?
For any code of ethics problem, any?
All the code of ethics will be applied. See, this is a corporate form of practice. It is not private limited company. You cannot form as such private limited company and become a whole-time director in that along with your COP and practicing in a partnership firm. There are two totally different structures, right? Because you cannot be the businessman in any of your consulting. Then there is a stringent, it is not allowed as per Institute Act.
Okay.
Hope everyone is clear.
Next question was on the line of practice verticals and locations. First question is, what are the practice verticals approximate size in terms of billing, number of client size and team size? So what I understand is that merger, when we are doing merger, what we will look into all these things. What are the practice verticals and team size and
Even your own practice also you can always think on this. It is not necessary in merger.
Correct.
But here specifically for merger you can answer.
okay, so
What is your thought of your?
So the group thought that we should look out for the firm who has a different vertical or niche area where the firm is practicing. So we can have synergies out of the merger. Also we are open, like the group was open for a firm which has the same vertical but at a different scale. So again it becomes synergies of merger.
Very good.
What are the locations where the firm has a direct or associate presence already? Which verticals are active in these locations? So the group was like of a view that we should expand ourselves at a geographical level, so we can expand our existing services along with the new services of a merged firm on all the geographical areas. So wherever we can extend our presence, we can have synergies there as well.
Which are the areas you have thought of?
Geographical areas. First of all, we should target the firm. Our group had a view that where the geographical area where the firm has an existing client size, like a good client size. So to start with, synergies can start at a better scale, and then we should target to 2-tier, 3-tier cities to have a better scaling up.
So area not decided.
Specific.
So now at present the GCC countries are the best area actually to grow at present. No doubt India also a lot of expansion and the growth is happening, but at present the GCC countries are actually having a good growth perspective.
The third question was on the same lines. Are there international offices or are you planning to have? So GCC locations would be the place where we look out for.
So what you are planning to have your presence in GCC countries?
Not thought of.
And now you are homework.
What are the plans for adding verticals or locations? Again, it's a sum up of.
Next group.
The question is technology. So in merger, how tech platforms in use for in-house purposes. So we will use in-house one, we have to change immediately, and we'll do which one is best. We'll continue with one single in-house platform for day-to-day purpose.
So these are different offices use different softwares for return filing, GST and all. And so this was a question relating to that, because the staff is also not compatible. So if you are sitting in one office, it is better to be located at one office and have the synergies in all these areas. It may not happen immediately, but it may take one season to get it synergy in the softwares and regular softwares.
Right. The next question was tech uses for client work and for regulatory services. The same we will continue, like we should continue for, you know, at least one season or 12 months for one same things for both the firms, and then migrate data accordingly, whichever is easy friendly usage. Then tech tools and team proficiency. Training to staff at intervals and having a good hand holding will work in that. Tech related relevant certifications. Same thing, you have to check what type of versions you are using, whether it is pirated or licensed, and how can collaborate at best cost and everything. This is how you'll work it out.
Next group.
So long-term visions and strategy, build to sell or build to last?
However, in the short run, build to sell looks lucrative because you can encash goodwill. However, in the long term, it is suggested that we keep the strategy of build to last because the firm is an institution and it should go on and on. It's a going concern, so there should be no short term view.
Aggressive growth or slow and steady process?
Since past many years, consulting and auditing have moved at a very fast pace and the world is moving very fast. So keeping in mind and ensuring the profits are pulled back to the firm, aggressive growth is the challenge and we need to scale and we have to be aggressive.
Revenues, profit and size related aspirations?
The simple strategy for whether we should be a revenue strategy, profit strategy. The target is that my current top line, our current top line of the merged entity should be the bottom line of the merged entity after 3 years. So that is our target.
People policies?
So the critical, of course, monetary people policy has to be constant and ensure that the monetary compensation is on par. The firm with the lower pay scale has to come to the monetary package of the firm with the larger pay. Apart from that, authority should be given to people and they should be having a challenging roles, and as the move on, each person should be motivated that he is going up his career path.
Automations and tech thrust?
100%. The merged entity is going to invest into tech for manual process, routine process, some recos and checklist. However, manual intervention is necessary, but the investment in automation is a must.
Fundraising options, whether capital by partner, borrowing from partners, external borrowing or private equity and listing?
So to repeat the same, audit functions in LLP, so self-funded by the partners and the profit. For non-audit, we create a private limited company. We go for a PE because the private equity from a foreign firm, if I mean collaboration is a very big challenge, but the private equity will bring in contacts, they will bring in the money, they will bring us a valuation. So private equity, private limited for non-audit, and for audit functions, LLP and self-funding.
So at present in US, there are more than 25 professional firms have got PE funding. Recently we got that news. However, it has been researched that there are a lot of code of ethical issues in that. So that is going on at present.
So our question is admin function. First, premises is owned, rented or mixed. So let us presume firm A and firm B. One is operating from rented premises and the other firm is operating from owned premises. So now when the merger happens, what should be the case? So in these cases, we will consider factors such as location, capital and client requirement. If firm A is operating from marine lines and firm B is operating from some central line, say Thane, so they have to come at a center place and then they have to operate. So it can be a mix of owned, rented, anything. Second question is, can partners own and rent out premises to the firm? If on a favorable location, any of the partner has the owned premises, then they can rent to the firm. In case if they do not have owned premises, then the partnership firm can lease out or rent out the premises. The third question is support functions, in-house or outsource. So at first, we can choose outsource support function for few things, and when the firm grows large, in-house support functions can be there for the firm, so that the cost for support functions can be absorbed by the larger firms easily. The fourth question is, support function should be headed by partners or competent senior employees like CFO, CTO, COO, etc. So in this case, we would prefer that the support function is headed by senior employees so that the partners are free enough for business development and higher level works. The fifth question is, what should be the staff policies? That what should be the leaves allowed, holiday list, comp off, leave for CA exams, training calendar, etc. So a core group can be formed by both the partnership firms who are merging, and the core group can decide and come on a amicable dates that these are the important dates where we need to give a holiday instead of one decision maker.
Hello. So our topic is partnership structure. The first part was partnership remuneration determination basis. So what we have decided, it could be a hybrid model where a fixed remuneration would be given and a variable percentage on share will be given at the after yearly performance review. And once the partner is inducted at every 3 years interval, the profit percentage or share would be changed depends on his total last 3 years performance.
Second question is periodic review intervals and criteria. So periodical reviews can be annually for the first 2-3 years because to get a clear criteria, then based on financial performance and client feedback, the review intervals can be checked. But for first 2-3 years, annual reviews can be better option.
Third question.
See, annual review 2-3 years.
For first 2 years, annual reviews, but in between private quarterly reviews are okay, but for client feedbacks and everything, annual review only would be better to get the idea whether the merger is successful.
It is very difficult to do quarterly reviews, no, for the employees.
Internally between partners.
It is difficult on quarterly basis.
It has to be annual review because it's a full exercise to do the reviews. And the entire checklist is there. We will not have time also to do the reviews. So it cannot be lesser than annual review.
The third question was retirement age or leadership succession plans. As we were attending the session, our sir Sharik contractor said that after 65 years, we will be not becoming a principal partner and we will step down. So that is the answer for that.
So yes, they have listened the session. This is the evidence.
Goodwill belongs to the firm or to the specific partner. So again, they had said that goodwill doesn't belongs to any specific partner. It is of the firm. So no goodwill should be paid to the specific partners.
It again depends the contribution of each partner and the firm. It cannot be the standard formula that there is no goodwill of the partner. It depends on case-to-case basis how it has been decided amongst the partners.
The next question is, are partners allowed to take directorship, honorary positions and teaching engagements etc. in individual capacity? How is conflict and pooling of revenue dealt with? So, our answer is if suppose somebody has a teaching habit and everything, so if it doesn't affect the practice time, so it is better to do that, and it is somewhat part of our business development also, which helps in growing the business.
So in case-to-case basis, there is no fixed answer, yes or no to this. It depends on all the partners, how they want to go for it. If they decide yes, anyone can go for it, it can be done. If they decide no, it has to be full-time partnership only, it cannot be done.
It should not be at the cost of the firm.
It depends on case to case. If they decide yes, and if that partner say no, I want to do, I will work only for say a few number of hours in a week. Then also one has to consider, it depends on the decision of all the partners.
Last question is leadership team and style, whether single CEO or leadership team of a few partners or democracy or all partners together lead. So a leadership team model would be adopted with comprising a managing partner and small executive committees with senior partners. So this balances the strategic focus and inclusiveness with regular inputs from all the partners.
So all the partners should meet regularly to take the major decisions and review the performance and to take to the next level.
Yeah, so our criteria is client profile and empanelment status. So on the background that the merging firms, one is a small size firm and a big size firm. The primary purpose of merging is talent. So as far as number of large listed clients is concerned, obviously the empanelment will empanelment status will improve. So the talent whom we are acquiring would be ideally used for managing those large clients, and the administrative responsibilities of the other firm will be taken care. The normal compliances, etc., will be taken care of. So opportunities of having more exposure will be given.
So it again depends on the thought process and the strategy of the firm and the partners, whether they also want to do the compliance work, or they sometimes the firms mergers are happening only for empanelment work only. Some 15, 20, 25 partners based on the empanelment criteria in MEF or C&AG, they come together from different locations across India and they do only say circle audits, statutory circle audits, and some large audits, some empaneled work only. So it depends totally on the thought process and the strategy of the firm and the partners for what purpose the merger is happening. If it is not happening for say empanelment work, it is happening for real work, then it has to be the strategy which area they want to develop. Like they can develop the verticals also, the consulting also. So it depends totally on what kind. So something like compliance, some partners like different verticals of compliance also, and consultancy as a different vertical, consultancy also in different areas. So it totally depends the purpose of the merger, whether it is for empaneled work or consulting or audit and assurance of other than empaneled work also.
The second point is recurring long-term appointments. Example, 5 years audit appointment or 3-year concurrent audit appointment. So now, let us say a case where the one firm which is merging is having 5-year audit appointment, audit engagements, and the other firm, which is a small size firm, they are mainly into say tax or some other services. They don't have experience of audit related engagement. So what could be strategy that in the audit recurring audit engagements, the other firm's member will be involved, so that over a period of time both the staff from other firm as well has the experience to handle these long-term appointments.
So this question is mainly relating to the assurance and non-assurance practice. As per the institute guidelines, if you are doing audit work, you cannot take any other work other than that audit. So if there are the like a kind of arrangement of merger of two firms, like the synergies are there, one firm is doing audit and assurance, the other than audit assurance the other firm can handle, and vice versa. Again, in audit rotation also the arrangements can happen. Say over a period of time the audits can also be taken care by another firm when the rotation comes. So that can also be the structured thing.
The third point is regarding revenue composition, recurring versus one time. I would say both, because one time good delivery of work leads you to recurring opportunities. So what we would do is, for recurring work, have standardized processes, checklists, etc. And for one time work, have a good knowledge database, so that whatever work is done, it can be replicated by way of SOPs, etc. So that would be one change. Large versus SME. Obviously large, but gradually, if the SME is promising enough and I mean there is a growth path for the SME, then definitely we would
So
retain.
again, it is a total the strategy of the firm and the partners to what is their market audience. If they want to cater to the listed companies and the large clientele, then their focus has to be that and their structure of their firm has to be that. But if they decide, no, we don't want to do that kind of, provide that kind of service, we want to have some SME, and that also is some sector specific also nowadays. See, we want to provide only this kind of service to only this type of client, then also can be the thought process. So there is nothing fixed. It can be larger is a better, listed clients are good. It is not like that. It depends totally on the on strategy of the firm, but there has to be some strategy. If you want to cater to the SMEs, what is the structure? Those kind of SMEs whose turnover is above 100 crore or above 10 crore, or they are into like micro, and in that also we will be giving them the services of say some subsidy schemes or finance or compliance work. So one has to strategize what they want to cater.
And corporate versus non-corporate. So corporate obviously would be more demanding in terms of my time, and so if as a firm I can elevate myself to deliver that kind of assignments, then corporate. And non-corporate, if again I see promising growth for the non-corporate organization, then or the founders or whoever other partners they are enterprising, then definitely remaining associated with them would be the criteria. And the last point is the number of new age practice offerings: digital transformation, cyber security, data privacy, insolvency, analytics, sustainability, CSR, succession planning, etc. So if I would give, we would give complete liberty to anybody who's young and or who's willing to take up any of these as a practice area, and like we've heard throughout the sessions, that give some gestation period where they can actually take the liberty of going and exploring the practice, have some time set up, and see if some positive results can come out of it. So we are willing to do that.
This was a very important question which decides the entire structure of the firm basically. In which area you will be, what will be the structure, whether innovative kind of practice or it's a traditional practice, and entire what will be the market audience, what will be the technology used. So the one model one has to create in with this question. So I think all of you must have understood this. So thank you very much, and this you can take this as an exercise, give a thought process to this. If you have any question later on also, please connect. And I thought we just push all of you to this exercise for the betterment and the practice growth. Thank you very much.
So much. As we wrap up this wonderfully interactive session, the Collab Sphere, Collab and Grow. First and foremost, a big thank you to our mentor, CCMCA Preeti Savla. Your insights were perfect, well structured, clear and inspiring. Thank you to Gautam for flowing smoother than taxoid and keeping this session clean and conversative. The group, thank you to all the participants who had interactively participated in the group discussion, brought out brilliant solutions to issues around mergers and collaborations, and proving that when CS put their head together, even Excel sheets bow in respect. Now, before I call upon Nihar, I would like to give a small vote of thanks to Nihar also, because he is the person behind this entire full day session. Right from having discussions with speakers, having discussions for topics to be taken, and jotting down entire session wonderfully for us. So a big thank you to Nihar and his team. And I would now like to call upon Nihar to give a formal vote of thanks for the day.
Thank you, Viral, for your kind words. Good evening, everyone. As we come close to what has been a truly enriching and empowering day, I feel overwhelming sense of gratitude and pride. It's my honor on behalf of the Practice Management and Development Committee of CVOC Association to deliver the vote of thanks. When we first envisioned this summit, the goal was clear. We wanted to create a platform or an event that would spark conversation on the future of our profession, encourage practitioners to think beyond the conventional areas, and help us build not just practices but legacies. Today, looking around this hall and the energy and the sessions that we've heard, I am confident to say that it's mission accomplished. But none of this would have been possible without the collective efforts of each and everyone who has contributed this to this event. First of all, let me thank the esteemed speakers, right from ex-Central Council member C. Anil Bhandari, C. Mayank Lakhani, C. Jayesh Sangrajka, and C. Amit Kothari, C. Shari Contractor, C. Nandita Parikh, C. Ashutosh Thakur, and last but not the least, C. Preeti Savla, Central Council member and a Managing Committee member, who really helped in contributing their ideas and suggestions in this session. And I would also like to thank Preeti for really helping in connecting to all the faculties who were there, who were sharing the ideas. She has been instrumental in bringing all the faculties. And ma'am, unfortunately, we couldn't have Aniket Talati sir, and I think on behalf of the entire association, we want to demand that we want Aniket Talati sir in one more session, hopefully very soon.
Contributed 1 crore for CVO.
Next to the president and the chairman of the committee, CA Vinit Kada and CA Manosha sir. Your vision, leadership, and most importantly, the belief in creating value for the professionals of our association and the community at large. Thank you so much for entrusting me as well as the entire committee with such a big responsibility, with a thought-provoking session, and because of which we could have this kind of a growth summit in the history of CVOCA. Next, my joint convener, CA Ritesh Savla, who has been the backbone of this event. I think he's one of those silent warriors who's always behind the scenes but contributes in a big way. So thank you so much, Ritesh, for helping around. And to my managing committee, I think it would be very wrong to say that this event was done by the practice development committee. I think any event that CVOC organizes is always done by the entire managing committee. So each and every managing committee member does contribute in a very big way. I may be taking the appreciation, but I think the entire team deserves a very big round of applause for contributing, not just in the conceptualization, but even the execution of the entire event. So thank you so much, guys. And to the trustees and the managing committee of Shri Hirji Bojraj and Sons Chhatralay for giving us access to this wonderful infrastructure and also allowing us to use the canteen, etc. For this event. I also want to thank the caterers, Maharaj, who's served us delicious meals, and to all the support staff of Shishuan School and support staff of CVOCA, Sandeep and Samruddhi, who have been instrumental in getting this event through. And last but not the least, to all these lovely audience and participants who have really contributed in all the sessions and gained a lot. Last, I would like to just conclude by saying, let us take the momentum from today, channel it into our firms, our teams, and our futures. Let us build boldly, lead collaboratively, and grow sustainably. Once again, on behalf of CVOCA and from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. We look forward to more contribution from all of you in the future initiatives of this committee and the entire CVOCA. Thank you. I would also like to thank the sponsors, Everex Infotech, to Taxman Allied Services and to Hemant Cheda, Labour Consultant, for being supportive enough for this event. Thank you so much.